Alright, what's up everybody? I'm going to do another puzzle video today. As you can probably see by the screen previews here on the chessboards, I'm rocking with a new piece set on chess.com. Went and played the in-person tournament. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but got my butt absolutely kicked. And I think that I didn't play great, for starters, but I also think I'm not used to seeing over the board pieces. I think many people have just gone accustomed to playing online chess. I've never played any in-person chess tournaments. That was my first one. And then I found this chess piece set on chess.com and immediately started playing worse online. So I think the pieces are actually a factor. And especially with noticing very simple tactics. So I'm going to do some puzzles. These are probably not going to be very simple tactics, but I think good practice nonetheless. So we're going to jump in. We're at 2,900 right now. We are going for 3,000. Obviously got some work to do, so check, check. This is quite zoomed in. Oh. We are not... Restart capture. Let's see if this works. We weren't showing it. This is actually... This is interesting. So obviously I hadn't done this before with the new pieces, and it is hard to see. Let's see if I can... That's not better. If I just zoom out. This probably works, yeah? Are we good with this? Lock it in. I think we're rolling with it. Hopefully it works. It looks like it's at least updating now. Alright. So, queen here, check, mate. Right? No. Queen covers. See? This is why we need the practice. Certainly check. King here. Any validity to check? I don't think so. So here, let's just go through this. If queen takes, pawn takes, king back, I can threaten mate, but the rook drops back, and I don't think I really have anything else at that point. I can come try to attack these pawns, which black can just never get away from. If black ever tries to take our pawn on g6, we give mate. I don't think there's anything with sacking. This doesn't amount to much. I don't think that is really a threat. So my thought is that queen e8, king up, queen g6, queen takes, pawn takes, king drops back, and then we have our mating net. Pawn covers these squares. I guess that really is not going to work. So let's say we give the check, king goes king g8. If I try to give a check, the king can just sidestep to f8. I have no more check, and the king can run out. Okay. So that's not the move. What is the move? Rook is pinned. That is important to note. Queen check. I have no other checks. This doesn't seem useful. Queen is under attack. We give a check. King goes up. What else do we have there? Anything which is pushing the pawn? I don't think so. Push the pawn, queen takes. And then I have this fork. I don't even have the fork because the rook just comes back. I can double up on it. Pawn push. If pawn takes, then black gets mated. All right, queen check, king up here. If pawn takes, this is mate. Here, if queen takes, check, rook here, double up, pawn push. I just don't think, can't even push this pawn because there's no pin anymore. This has got to be the move. Got to be the first move. So this does not work because if queen takes, pawn takes, king goes back to g8 and the king has time to run. Queen takes, rook takes does nothing. I'm winning a pawn, but I'm still down a pawn in the endgame, which is either a draw or I'm just losing. Oh, didn't mean to zoom it in there. I wonder if you guys can see this okay. That's clear enough. Hopefully it is. Hopefully. I don't really see another option other than pushing the pawn. This does nothing. I'm going to be losing there. I can't even. Rook is pinned. Not even an option. What if here and can black just ignore it? Like what about like here, rook d3? Then I guess so black can't ignore it because I'm threatening queen g6 and mate. This blocking the queen from taking. So here I think queen has to take. Check, rook over. Here, pawn up. Takes. It's not good. It's not good. Here, queen takes. Whoa. It's kind of annoying how easy it is to drag on the board. Check, hitting the rook and the king, but the rook comes here. And the issue is that this pawn comes up to defend, and I don't have a good way to stop that. G4 comes a move too late. Here, check, rook over. Try to pin the rook. This happens. Is there a better way to pin the rook? Do I have something like this? I don't think so. Queen just takes. Yeah. There's nothing with just taking the rook, I don't think. No. I'm fairly convinced that f6 needs to be it. It's so forcing. It's been a little too long here. Let's go for this. Not f6. Sure. Yeah, just threaten mate. Why didn't I look at that? I don't know. That's not very good. Here. Check first. Didn't want to spend too much time on this. Yeah, looking at just pawn and then take the rook. Okay. All right. Slow start. Next. All right. A lot going on here. What do we have? Obviously this is an option. I feel like we're going for a mate here. That's not necessary first. I want to take rook here, queen in. So let's just say takes, rook comes over. Can I give another check? Take, king slides. Do we just sack again? King has to take there. Then queen comes in. I've got enough pieces here that that's got to be good. So let's assume that the king takes. I think king h1. After king h1, rook takes h2. That looks bad for white. So take, king takes. King takes on g2. We give a check. Rook comes to block. Bishop is covering these, which is annoying. These squares for my knight. Need to be mindful of that. King takes here, rook blocks here. And then white is losing. So if white tries to block with the rook, white is losing the rook. Here, king takes, check, rook block. We just give check again. So let's say on check, the king runs. We threaten mate. All right, this just looks good. And then here my thought was rook g8. I don't see another great option. Nothing here. Here we're threatening mate in 1. What's my response to rook here? We just take. So rook there doesn't work. Rook g8. I think the only option is to take here, and then we just go this. Rook up, and we take. And what am I missing there? Because white has no checks in this scenario. Knight covers here. Surely I just take. Yeah, okay. Back up to 2900. Good bounce back there. Okay. This one seems interesting. Knight jump here seems like a strange move. Are we sacking the knight? That's what it seems like. Seems like the only way to defend the knight is b8, which looks like a terrible move. That doesn't even work because we take the rook. The knight seems like it's just stuck, and we're just winning a knight. Black doesn't have a ton of counterplay. My king is pretty protected right now. Rooks are doubled, they're not loose. Seems like black's best option is just to go like rook b8. Just take, they take the pawn, but that's all they have. That actually doesn't even work. Or it really it shouldn't be that dangerous, I guess I should say. I can come drop the queen back here to threaten both of the rooks. Black can obviously double them up. I don't see anything better than that. It seems silly to think about it too much longer. Okay, so we take the pawn. This move. I guess why not just take? Take, take. Take and what? Knight jumps in. Whoa, sorry about that. Zoom it out just a step. There we go. Didn't consider the pawn push to protect the knight. It's a great example of things that I'm missing with these pieces. Maybe I wouldn't have found that one with just normal online pieces either, but it feels like I would have. Here's rook e6 to move. Pawn's pinned. Best option is probably to attack the queen. We take and then take. Yes. Yeah, okay. Took me a second to see that one, but once I saw it, knew that one was right. This looks like another sacrifice would be tempting. Here immediately, just push. Black has other options of defending that bishop, but after this I could double up. So this f6. So my thought is here, f6, we take the knight. Regardless of takes back, we just double up. Then I'm wondering if maybe it's cleaner to just take the knight anyways. Do we need to encourage black to play king f7 to give them that square? So I guess the question is, if we just take and then play rook e1, how does black defend that? I feel like something with this bishop that I'm missing. I'm not buying it. Okay. One seemed a little bit easier than 2700, but we'll take it. All right, we just lost a bishop on g6. Got a nice little attack going. What is the option? Check here, knight covers. Hit the queen. To do what? I'm not sure. I feel like white could always just try to force the queen trade there. Takes, takes. Surely that's not great. Our rook's under attack. Is there anything wrong with me just taking? I'm not really up material at that point. I'm not seeing anything overly forcing. This doesn't work. Here it doesn't really work because knight just takes. Jeez, stop that. Okay, ruling out e6. And e5 for that matter. Anything to like queen p8? I don't really feel like there is. Knight e4, queen here. Do I have a response to that? I don't think so. I feel like I need to take the knight. That doesn't feel right. Takes, takes. Doesn't do much. I have no checks with the queen. Here. Do I have any like check here? I don't think so. Definitely don't think so. Here, knight can probably just jump. I don't have a good answer to that. I can find nothing else except to just take the knight. And then try to do some developing with the bishop to give checks. Get the queen a little bit more involved. I'm thinking take, and then the plan is to play e6 next move. White castling here kind of throws a wrench into everything because then I need to be mindful of stuff like the knight jumping out and my queen being in danger. Really? So I didn't even consider that, and I've already missed 2 of those. So we need to think about just how can we force checkmate. I'm definitely missing those moves. I guess here the point is that white just doesn't have a good way to stop that. That's her only immediate check. king can't run, so how do you stop mate on this square? Okay. Noted. Doesn't seem that tricky of a one to find in hindsight, but it definitely was for me there. What is the move here? Are there any nice discoveries I have on black's rook? This doesn't work. I can come here and threaten knight, but then black probably just plays rook f8 and targets his pawn at the end of that sequence. Something like this seems silly. I don't really want to get rid of that pen. It feels like I should be making use of it somehow. Should I just take the pawn? Take here. Check doesn't work. I mean, black has no checks in that scenario. So I'm taking the pawn. Let's say rook f8. Here. Covering that square of knight takes. Rook takes with check. King runs back. I still don't have a good way to protect that square. I can go like king, queen e1 at the end. If knight takes, we take the rook. That's so annoying. Then knight check. Jump out, I'm still fine there. Nothing with like queen takes. I don't think. Do I have a better option? Is something like this better? I don't love it after pawn takes. I'm just giving up the rook, and I don't think I'm getting enough in return. So I'm inclined to at least win the pawn. This doesn't look good. Giving up more than I need to there. I'm gonna have some checks to run from for sure. And it's gonna be hard to, like, I need more than the queen to checkmate black. The pawns are definitely not enough. So not here. Not these. This doesn't seem to do anything. That's an option. This one we're hitting the knight, but so like here, rook f8. I'm not even gonna have a pawn to show for it at the end. This one is evidently not that hard, really, just because of this? No, not because of that. Just because of rook takes. What am I missing? I'm missing some bad ones. This is why we're working with the new pieces. This is great practice. Okay. Forcing moves, Dylan. Check. King can't run here. King here, check. Surely takes is not good. So here, king here, check. Back can't be good. Back here, I take this with check, so that looks fine. Here doesn't work. So really it's here, pawn takes. Check. king over. Just take here. I'm threatening bishop, threatening the rook. My knight's going to be hanging at the end. Really? I was pretty confident that that was going to be the starter. Okay. I wonder, just to look at it. Let's be educational here. Check. King f8. Just because I'm losing more material. Yep, fair enough. Okay, goal might be just to get back to 2900 this session. This little tactic doesn't work because the queen just blocks. So I'm thinking knight takes bishop is forced somewhat. I guess it's really not. Like, my position isn't great, but the material is even. So even if I were to give a check and queen blocks and I just take, stop that, man. Check here, takes, takes, and then check. I guess I gotta do so without losing my rook at the end. Here. I'm just hitting the piece, am I not? Here. Takes. If I go takes, that can't be good. I'm not gonna stop a queen there. What about here? Still the same thing, right? So the struggle is, how do we prevent black from getting a queen? If I give the queen check, I have to trade. Do I actually? Check here, knight takes. If takes, then we take. I take back with the pawn. I'm not winning any material though, I'm just preventing the queen. Here. Bishop takes. Man. Here. Then give a check. Check. That might be the move. Knight takes first, pawn takes, check here. That is so obnoxious. Stop it. Man. I need to lock the board somehow. Can I do that? There should be a way to lock the 3D board. Okay. Here. Check. That's definitely the move. Because queen can't even block because the knight covers. Bishop could block. But then I just take. Then we just take here, yeah? Yeah, okay. Got our 5 points. We got a queen and a rook. here. King up. Check here. And then what? Not seeing it there. We have this check. But surely that's not much better. I don't think so. Kind of the same thing with this after King G8. Like, I don't think we want to let this happen. Probably got to move the queen somehow. Check. Here. Could take the rook. It does not seem right. I feel like I'm not gaining anything by winning pawns. If I could give a check to where that's stung a little bit more, but it doesn't. Nor will it ever, I don't think. Check. King over. Check. King up. No. Are there any mates that I could try to force, that I could set up? That doesn't work. There's no way to pin that knight. Bishop covers the pawn. Man. These puzzles are getting me. I don't have any mate. Like, even if I'm able to give a check on e7, I could even go here and the king could just run, and then what am I threatening? If I could kick the knight out, that'd be great, but check here. Check here, punt the knight. But then what good does that do me? Check, king over, push the pawn. Knight jumps in here, let's say. Bishop still covers the square I'd like to give a check on. Man. I don't want to give up any more rating points, but I also don't want to sit here for half an hour looking for the move. I'm down so much material. There's got to be something very forcing here. Surely. Here, pawn takes. Check here. Definitely not here. So I don't even have time for really a waiting move unless it covers f3. of which there are really no good moves that do. So it's got to be one of these 3 checks, and I'm just missing a follow-up. I have no idea what I would do if the king goes to g8, which is why I think queen d8 to at least force to f7 is the right answer. And then let's say queen e7 check. What do I do after the king then runs back? So let's say here is at least forcing, but then what after king g6? I could give the check, but bishop takes, and you know, what do I have at that point? King d8, queen d8, king f7, rook e7, king g6. Do I just like line up a battery? I don't think that's way too slow though, because then just rook comes over. It's fine. Even just knight drops back is fine. So it's not that. Anything to a check here? I don't think so. Rook e7. Here. Rook e7. King g6. I have no other checks. I'm not immediately losing by any means. I'm not going to get mated by black for at least a few moves. But what can I set up there? Other than just taking the rook, which feels... I mean, maybe that's the move. Maybe the move is just to take the rook and say, I've got the queen for 3 pieces, and go from there. I don't see anything better. Okay, I saw that within like the first 10 seconds of the puzzle and just assumed that that would not be the right answer. Clearly an incorrect assumption. All right, how are we winning the endgame? Kind of like just pushing. Push, takes, push. Push. It's fine. Push, takes, push. Would have to drop back, and then I go here. And then game over, right? Take. Take. Yeah, okay. All right. Next. I kind of want something sneaky like this to work with the fork, but the rook is not pinned. Something like this. So queen e5 is threatening rook d2. Queens, we take. I don't really have a better option for that. Anything just playing it immediately? I don't think so. Not very forcing. Taking here doesn't do anything. So I guess the thought is that if I go queen e5 and white just queens, forced to take, and then my threat is gone. I've got the bishop here. Maybe I need to make some better use of that. Knight in, if queen takes, we just take. Knight in. Certainly the king isn't going to step on the diagonal. If knight in and king goes here or here, I'm just giving checks, not giving this check because of the bishop. If knight here, king goes back. Maybe just still rook in, threatening that. That's probably fine. So knight check, rook takes. Check. Rook steps back and I have nothing. Yeah. So knight, rook takes, bishop takes, queen takes. I don't think that's going to amount to too much. I like establishing the pin. It makes everything else work way better. But just after queening, I guess after queen I takes and I still have this knight threat. I think that's the move. We can ignore the rook because I have the bishop protecting here. I don't necessarily need the rook for this threat. So we're just threatening mate here. I do kind of want to see what... I'm just trying to zoom through this one right now. This is lengthy. Let's just keep it going. Just take the rook. I want to see what white's response would be to just pinning the rook. After queen e5. Knight c5. I can never bring the rook in because of back rank. Yeah, I definitely missed the back rank option there. Yeah, okay. Tricky, so threaten mate, and then you see that long line at the end. That was a tough one. Quite the gridlocked position here. Let's zoom back out. Probably do two more. Black probably doesn't want to take here because of this. And what is queen here? Queen here with threatening mate. Has to take. Has to take. Here. Takes. Takes. Definitely leaning towards this first move. And then I think maybe here, pawn takes. Pawn takes. How does black sidestep that? I'm not sure, but I was thinking I would have something like rook here, check, push the pawn, and then how do you stop mate there? We're gonna go with this. Queen here, okay. That makes sense. So here, do I have something better than check? Check. Check. That's mate. So check, check, king goes back, and then we just push that pawn. What? Did I just miss something terrible again? What was... Black moved the bishop up. Takes, takes, here, oh, here. And I went check, here, check. I just completely miss King E7? Is that how bad that was? Why did I think that black couldn't go King E7? This is rough. This is how not to solve harder puzzles. All right, first option, force mate. Surely not really forcing. So we go king here if knight takes. Can I just push the king? I feel like I shouldn't. Sidestep here. But then what? That can't be good. Anything with taking? Take, pawn takes, push. And I do have my bishop on. So if I take here, my bishop is lined up. Take here, queen up. Let's say rook up. Do I have a great answer there? I don't know if I do. Anything to check first? I don't think so. I'm gonna tilt this back a little bit. There we go. So I kind of like the idea of taking just to open the bishop up, but could I take the pawn first? Takes, takes, queen up, push, knight back, and then I'm just trying to take everything here. Or here. So I feel like we have to try to force mate first. No, we're not going for mate on this one. What? Why is white sagging the queen there? Queen x d4 is the best move. What about this? Queen b4. Knight d2 check. Takes. And if takes, there's mate in 17. What? I mean, come on. So I guess what happens if I play this initially? Then c3 is winning. Because the queen's still on that. That's a tough one. That one's hard. That's harder than 2600, surely. Oh man. All right, I'm doing one more. I can't end on that one. Any validity to taking? Maybe. Check. I think this is it. Push the pawn does nothing. If queen takes, we just take. Definitely starting with this. Yeah. Take the queen, take. Takes. No. Takes. Takes with check. Here. King takes here. And I'm of a piece. Yeah. That was not good. Went downhill on the puzzles today. That 2600 one, that was brutal. Playing for like mate and 20 if white plays 3 certain moves. It's tough. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. You can see why we're using the new pieces to practice. We're going to keep rolling with them. So hopefully it'll make us better. Good preparation for over the board games, ideally. Yeah, I'm sure we'll adjust to them with time. But I'll wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.